Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at cases where an officer falsely arrested individuals despite evidence showing no wrongdoing. On February 3rd, 2019, in Oviedo, Florida, about 20 minutes away from Orlando, Officer Scott Mosley pulled over a driver on Red Bug Lake Road after witnessing the man cutting in between vehicles and tailgating. How the officer would handle the situation, however, was far from professional, quickly escalating beyond necessity.
Do you speak English?
I am English student.
How did you get a driver's license if you don't speak English?
Already, the officer showcased that he lacked any knowledge of traffic laws and regulations. A survey taken by Pro English only a year before the incident showed that only 3 states out of 50 offered their driver's license exams only in English. The 3 states that did so, and with no additional translation or interpretation assistance available to those who did not speak English, were South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming. Meanwhile, 47 other states offered their driver's license exams in a variety of different languages beyond English. Clearly, this meant that the driver was capable of receiving a license in the US, at least in Florida, with or without proficiency in the language. Unfortunately, Officer Mosley would remain ignorant and continued to interrogate the victim further.
My please.
Do you have a driver's license?
Yeah, I'm valid.
Give it to me.
I am well late. I'm go.
I don't care, you're speeding.
Yeah, I'm go soccer.
I don't care where you're going. You don't have a Florida driver's license?
No.
Why are you driving here?
I am English student.
You cannot drive here if you don't have a license in the United States of America.
Actually, according to the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, when an individual is visiting Florida from another country, they are permitted to operate a vehicle as long as they have in their immediate possession a valid driver's license issued in his or her name from their country of residence. Once again, with no knowledge of the law, the officer would continue to crack down on the Turkish soccer player with unnecessary questions. However, since there was a language barrier, the two communicated via Google Translate.
Yeah.
Why are you driving?
Now?
What language do you speak?
Turkish.
Why are you driving?
Why?
You don't have a license. This is not America. This is Turkey.
Yeah, translate open.
Sure. Did you see me behind you?
Excuse me?
Did you see me behind you?
Yeah.
Why did you not stop?
I don't understand. Stop.
Yeah, that's why you should not be driving in America when you don't know what it means when a cop is behind you with their lights on.
I am sorry. I don't know.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Why?
Open here. Let me see that. You are not allowed to drive in America if you don't know our laws and you do not have an American license. I was behind you with my lights on and you did not even stop.
Gerçekten özür dilerim. Bilmiyorum.
I don't care if you did not know. That is the problem. That is why you have to have an American license so you know our laws. You are not allowed to drive in this country if you do not know this country's laws.
Yeteri kadar biliyorum.
No, you don't.
Stop.
Let me see. Give me that. Give me your phone. Phone. You do not know enough. If you do not know that a police officer driving behind you means you should stop, that means you do not know enough to drive in this country. You are breaking the law. Do you have the registration? Vehicle registration?
Here. This is my passport.
Whose car is this?
My my cousin. Yeah.
Are they home?
Yeah.
Call them. 31, can I get another unit? Batuhan is
Yeah.
your cousin?
Yeah. Alo. Alo.
Tell him to come here. Tell him to come here, okay?
After that brutal interaction, the officer, still believing that he was in the right, asked the man to call the owner of the vehicle to come down to the scene. Once
Is he coming?
Yeah.
Okay. How far, do you know how long he's going to be? How long?
Yeah.
He's coming right now? Okay. Alright, can you come out for me? Can you come out? Can you step out? Come out?
I am stuck here.
Okay, just come over there to talk.
So?
Farther. I don't want to get hit. Alright. How long have you been in the country? Come over here more. Come over here.
How long? I am 5 November coming here.
Huh?
5 November coming here. So I am English student. I'm soccer, play soccer, professional soccer.
How long have you lived here?
Here.
How long? 1 month, 1 year?
3 months.
You've been here 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you drive this car a lot? Do you drive it a lot, many times?
Yeah.
You drive many times?
I know my drive lesson. I don't know.
License.
6 months and finish. And I may go to my country and finish.
So he's your cousin?
Yeah.
Cousin?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not allowed to drive here. You cannot drive here without a license. An American license is required, necessary for you to drive here.
again, if a driver is not considered a Florida resident, an out-of-state driver's license is valid in Florida if it is valid in the issuing state and the driver is lawfully present in the United States. Despite that, the officer would continue to tell the foreign individual that he wasn't allowed to drive, even though the state allows one to do so.
Can you put your hands behind your back? Hands behind your back?
Out of nowhere, the officer began detaining the victim. Considering that this was a false arrest, the officer infringed upon the individual's fourth constitutional right, which states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized." Moreover, for anyone who may question why he has that right, the U.S. Constitution applies to all persons, which includes both documented and undocumented immigrants, and not just U.S. citizens. Nevertheless, the officer continued to falsely arrest the victim.
Does your cousin speak English?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
American.
Okay. I'll talk to him when he gets here, okay? Yeah. Just
My fault.
yeah, that's okay. I'm just making sure. Step this way. Okay, come back here.
What's unfortunate is that during this entire process, the other officer on the scene did not stop Officer Mosley from falsely arresting the driver. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, when a law enforcement officer uses excessive force or engages in other prohibited conduct, other officers on the scene have a duty to stop such action. Consequently, by not stopping the arresting officer, he was liable for committing a crime as well.
If you want to sit down there. He knows where you're at, your cousin?
What?
Your cousin knows where you're at?
Coming here.
Okay. No drugs in it? No drugs or anything in the wallet. Drugs like drugs.
No,
nothing. Okay.
I am don't play.
Okay.
No beer, no whiskey. I am sucker.
Okay.
Sucker player.
What is he driving? What kind of car?
Lincoln.
Lincoln.
MKS.
MKS. Here, I'm gonna shut this. I'll open the window.
After the incident and body cam footage were made available to the public, there was public outcry over the officer being illiterate of the law and falsely arresting an innocent man. In response, Officer Mosley's department punished the officer for his actions. However, the officer received a slap on the wrist rather than face serious consequences for his actions after it was determined he lacked training in certain laws and regulations. Next up, on May 24, 2020, in Scottsdale, Arizona, a couple contacted nearby officers after noticing that their car was banged up while away. Upon arriving at the scene, officers found Yesenia Garcia sitting on the curb next to the vehicle that looked damaged. Quickly, the officers approached her to investigate.
Yes.
You went straight to us?
Yeah, I told him, like, oh my god, no, what the hell, are you serious? And then I'm like, look, the cops are right there, should we tell them? And he's like, yeah, hold on. And then he went to go get you guys.
So when you got back here, you saw your car and then you saw us and you went to us, you never got in your car?
No.
Okay.
Okay, that's what's going to ask. Okay, Yesenia, is that your name is Yesenia?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So my name is Officer Roberson. I'm with the traffic unit, and I'm
Yes.
here to assist with the investigation. I've got some bits and pieces of what's been said.
Yeah.
So you correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Okay.
I've been told that you and your boyfriend were at a club.
Uh-huh.
You came back, found your car like this.
Correct.
Contacted the police who were already in the area.
Yeah.
Is that right? And I just heard you tell Sergeant,
Yes.
the Sergeant right here, that you didn't get in your car at all.
No, not at all. We saw the lights.
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, should we tell the cops? And then that's when my boyfriend's like, yes.
All
They're-
right.
And then he went to go get them.
Okay.
According to Miss Garcia, she placed her car by the Galleria Corporate Center in Old Town. Then, while she went to 2 nearby bars with her boyfriend and had 3 drinks, she found her car's windshield and hood slightly disfigured while walking back to it. After seeing the damage, her boyfriend called nearby law enforcement over. Strangely though, the supervising officer began interrogating Miss Garcia as if she had done something wrong.
As long as you're standing up, it's a good time anyway. Why don't you face me real quick, and I'm going to ask you a couple of things. Okay. Do you have any recent head injuries?
No.
Do you have any physical disabilities?
No.
Do you wear contacts or any kind of corrective eyewear?
No, sir.
All right. So have you taken any prescription
No,
or
sir.
over-the-counter medications today or tonight?
No, sir.
Any illegal drugs?
No, sir.
Do you have any current problems in the inner ear, such as an inner ear infection?
No.
All right, cool. Sergeant Steele, can I have a minor interruption to speak with you, 1013? Yeah. With somebody?
Despite her answering their questions, the officers started to question her boyfriend as well. Apparently, around the same time as the couple's vehicle being damaged, a hit and run took place on the north side of VIP Spa Massage, according to surveillance footage and police records. Consequently, after seeing the couple's car banged up, the law enforcers present blindly believed that the 2 civilians who called them over were actually responsible for the hit and run, and that they were making up excuses to save them from their crime.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you. I'm going to give you one more chance to be honest with us. We're pulling the cameras and we're bringing a witness over that saw the car driving.
Okay.
It's a crime to provide false information to law enforcement. So when you I'm giving you an out. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
So let me tell you this though. Before the person that was hit assaulted somebody and was running. I know she's concerned because she's been drinking. Normally, when it's a hit and run involving injury, it's a felony.
And I'm telling you, I need you guys collectively to believe me and understand we are not lying to you. We were not driving this car on 6th Ave or 6th Street, wherever you
have
guys
the
say
keys
you guys
for the
were at.
car. This vehicle just hit a person.
This vehicle did not just hit a person. I'm
It
telling you
100%
that.
hit a
You cannot
person.
put this vehicle there at this
So
person,
when we
at that-
test
at
the
that site.
DNA off the windshield, it's not going to come back to the guy that's in the hospital right now in
I
life-threatening
could
condition.
not tell you that because me or her were not driving this car. I have the keys. There's no other way to drive this car because I have the keys on it. We've been here since 9 o'clock.
Take a full video.
Okay, go grab the video and then.
Pull video from there, and if while you're at it, pull video from Hi-Fi and Casamigos. You will see we been here.
If we pull the
since
video
9.
from Casamigos and Hi-Fi, it's going to show you guys leaving right before the accident happened.
No, it's not. You're making a scenario for that works out for you guys.
Your
That's
vehicle,
not.
the one that you have keys to that nobody else could have driven, the seating position is only in a position that your girlfriend could have fit behind the
right,
driver's.
because she drove here.
But the problem is,
listen, okay, listen, please listen to me.
I'm not going to listen to you because you're lying to me.
I'm not lying to you.
You guys
I
drove
have
here.
no reason, sir. I have no reason to lie to you.
Was the vehicle damaged when you guys parked it?
No.
How would the vehicle have
No.
gotten damaged if you are the one that has the keys for it and nobody else has the ability to drive it?
I'm telling you. What is your name?
Sergeant Steele.
Sergeant Brian Steele continued to crack down on the victim while refusing to give them an opportunity to explain themselves. To explain what actually happened, through further investigation after the incident, a random person jumped on the hood of Miss Garcia's car while she was away, causing damage to the hood and the windshield. Around that time, a hit and run occurred in a place close by. Then when the officers saw the damage to her car, they concluded that Miss Garcia was the one who committed the crime. The hit and run also explained why Miss Garcia's boyfriend found law enforcement so close to where they parked.
Sergeant Steele, I am telling you, she drove here perfectly fine, parked here. When we parked here, she said, there's always a parking spot on this street. Never fails. That's exactly what she did. When we arrived here, there were 2 units here already. When we arrived here, there were 2 units here. Nothing was wrong with this vehicle at all. We walked to Casa Amigos, met her brother and her sister-in-law there. Then we went to Hi-Fi. That is what we did tonight.
And then you came back and somehow
And
the car that you have...
And we came to this. And that's why I came over to the officers that was over there on the bike, because I was thinking, okay, should I call 911? Then I saw the cops over there. I was like, oh.
The problem is as you guys left, were involved in a collision, you panicked, you pulled over here.
No, we did not. No, we did not.
Okay.
You cannot pin that. You're not pinning that on us, because that is not the truth.
You're not listening to me.
I'm listening to you.
You're
not saying that this vehicle was involved.
Listen, stop talking for a
second.
second. You're not listening to me. The person that was hit by the car was technically at fault because they're running from committing a crime.
Okay.
So if we can identify the owner and deal with that part of it, the seriousness of leaving the scene goes away a little bit because the person that was running was at fault. The person that's driving this car continues to lie to us. It makes us lean towards the felony part of it because they left a serious injury collision.
Okay.
So just before you listen,
you're
not hearing me because you're still coming back with this. Listen to me.
And I'm going to summarize what you just said to me. You're saying that it lessens the offense of this car being in an incident because the person that got hit is running from a crime.
They were
That's what you just said.
They were technically at fault.
Okay.
The driver committed a crime by leaving the scene.
Okay.
But it's common when somebody's scared.
The officer then began trying to intimidate the victim into fessing up and taking the blame for a crime they didn't commit, going as far as even enticing them to confess by telling them that their sentence would be reduced. However, even if Sergeant Steele did manage to get the victim to confess, it would have been seen as an involuntary confession, which cannot be used against a defendant in court, regardless of whether it was true or not. Furthermore, after judges reviewed the case, court records said that surveillance footage showed Miss Garcia's car parked at the time of the hit and run, meaning that it was impossible for either her or the car to be involved in the crime. Instead of investigating the crime scene or cross-checking alibis, though, Sergeant Steele continued to make up a story to incriminate the innocent people.
Okay.
It's not.
I'm not, and please, Officer Steele, understand. I'm not scared. I'm not trying to weasel my way out of anything. I'm not trying to weasel our way out of anything.
I just want you to understand the whole circle of what happened.
Okay.
Because when we identify the driver, and she listen to me, and she continues to lie, and then you are not truthful. Just listen to me. You are putting yourself in. I already know she was driving. I'm not stupid. We have witnesses and we have cameras. I'm trying to help protect you guys now because now you're lying to us and she is lying to us.
So you're telling me you refuse to believe us. You're telling me I'm lying to you.
Yes.
And I'm telling you the complete truth. I'm telling you. How am I lying to you? Tell me how I'm lying to you.
This vehicle hit a pedestrian.
No, it did not. No, it did not.
And you wonder how you're lying to me.
No, it did not.
Okay. Well, you were forewarned.
What?
I explained to you.
Please, hold on. Tell me this. What time did a vehicle hit another pedestrian?
About 15 minutes before we found you. We started driving. Let's stop interrupting me. Can you stop interrupting me? We started making right turns, which is common after somebody commits a crime. And as we made a right turn, we found the vehicle that was involved in it.
Okay. 15 minutes after somebody was hit. We were literally walking over here.
Okay.
We
I'm
were
not gonna
literally
argue with you about the same thing.
High five.
Just think about what I told you.
Can I show you? Let me show you the transactions. Let me show you the transactions.
I don't need to see the transactions.
Why? Why? Because it validates my truth?
No, there's evidence that you can't dispute.
That's not evidence about anything.
There's a person that hit the windshield.
Nobody hit the windshield.
Okay.
This car.
All right, I'm not going to argue with you, man.
Instead of verifying the evidence that the victim was trying to present, the officer simply ignored it. According to criminal defense lawyer, if police conduct an investigation, they must follow strict protocols or risk having evidence tossed out of court. Failure to properly secure a crime scene, collect evidence, and maintain chain of custody comprises the integrity, reliability of the evidence. Unfortunately, due to their negligence and failure to conduct a proper investigation, the officers began to wrongfully arrest Miss Garcia.
Have a convenient. Sorry, you don't put that stuff in there. Parking. So here's what the situation is. Paper time's behind you. You've been placed under arrest at this time. You've been placed under arrest for a probable cause to believe that you're under the influence of an alcoholic beverage while operating a motor vehicle. You're also under arrest for the scene of an injury accident. There's probable cause to believe that that's the case, and if the state's unable to prove our case, then so be it. But for now, you're being placed under arrest for those charges. You also have earlier mentioned a couple of times about wanting to call a lawyer. Now you are in custody and not treating me because you're in custody. Would you like to try to call an attorney? Would you like to try to call an attorney when we get to the station? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to go 005 with the time of arrest as well as the invocation. That's fine. Do you have your cell phone with you tonight? Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to briefly look at you a little bit here. I am recording on camera right now, so nothing inappropriate will happen to you the entire time you and I are together. What might be in the back pocket here? Okay, I'm going to have a seat back here, and I'm going to go to the station as quickly as possible to get you into a phone room so you can try to call an attorney.
Miss Garcia was later booked into jail for possession of drug paraphernalia, driving under the influence, and failure to stop at the scene of an accident causing injury or death. Thankfully, though, she was never formally charged with any crimes. On top of that, when the incident was reviewed, Sergeant Brian Steele received a 40-hour unpaid suspension for failure to supervise and not turning on his body camera when interacting with a security guard who provided him with surveillance footage. Believing that the punishment wasn't enough, however, Ms. Garcia sued the Scottsdale Police Department, 6 officers, and the city in federal court. No further updates have been made at the time of this recording. On April 18, 2024, in Canton, Ohio, local police responded to an accident that occurred on the side of a road. Upon arriving at the scene, they bear witness to a shocking sight.
Sir, that's fine. Can you put my body cam back?
Did you call?
Yes. Let me come out.
Yeah, can you?
The guy who did this, he's in the VFW. He ran in there.
He ran in where?
Building right now, yeah, and his car's right there.
All right.
Yeah, he's in the VFW right now. The white that's in the VFW.
83.
Apparently the male ditched the vehicle in 1732 Sherrick and ran inside. We'll be checking the building for him.
Copy.
You wanna is somebody in there? Where did he say? He said he ran into this building?
No, VFW's out here. What's that?
Alright. Alright, yeah, we'll go get him out.
He's a black gentleman, heavier set, has a white shirt.
What happened was that a 53-year-old black man, Frank Tyson, allegedly sheared an electrical pole off the road with his vehicle and then ran from the scene. Officers were then told by a few witnesses that Mr. Tyson fled to a nearby veterans club. After following that lead, they would find the old man and confront him. How the officers would handle the situation, however, was ridiculous to say the least.
That's that gentleman standing at the door right there.
Please get him out of here now. I ain't leaving him. No, get the sheriff.
No,
Get
we're
the
going
sheriff
outside.
for him.
We're
Get
going
the sheriff.
outside.
No, you ain't killing me. You ain't killing me tonight. You ain't killing me. You guys can't. No, no. No, you guys are killing me. They're on here. They're trying to kill me. 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 Why are you trying to kill me? They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. Kill me, sheriff department. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff department. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff department. Call the sheriff. 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 They're trying to kill me. Call the sheriff.
Get on the ground.
Call the sheriff. 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 Call the sheriff.
Get on the ground.
They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me.
You're gonna get sprayed.
I don't get called sheriff.
You're gonna get sprayed. Don't spray.
Call the sheriff.
Don't spray him.
Call the sheriff.
The other officer was correct to halt his partner from attempting to pepper spray the victim. According to the National Institute of Justice, guidelines should consider issues related to the following when deploying a pepper spray. 1. Appropriateness of agent use. 2. Necessity of warnings prior to application. 3. Decontamination procedures. 4. Incident documentation. 5. Possible sanctions for indiscriminate use. Considering that pepper spray wouldn't be appropriate for the situation, along with the fact that immediate decontamination procedures wouldn't be possible under the current circumstances, the use of a mace would only make things more difficult for both parties.
They're gonna kill me. Call the sheriff. Call the sheriff.
I got it. Here it goes. Got it. You want that one? Say when. You're good. Good. Here's the other hand.
Get over me. Okay.
Calm down. Calm down.
Okay. Henry.
20 custody, 2029.
Stop fighting.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't. Get off my neck. I can't breathe.
That's the story right there. I'll be glad I did for you. Okay.
I can't breathe.
You're fine.
Yep. Good.
Shut the fuck up.
The officer's lack of attention and tact in the situation would lead to severe consequences later on. It's important to note that by kneeling on the victim's neck, the officers were blocking his blood flow. Consequently, such an action is otherwise known as neck restraint. In 2020, following the case of George Floyd's death, many police departments banned chokeholds and similar vascular neck restraints, which were designed to restrict blood flow to the brain and cause the subject to be rendered unconscious and subdued. Under Ohio's new guidance, such chokeholds and procedures could only be used by officers in the following circumstances: to defend themselves from serious physical injury or death, to defend another person from serious physical injury or death, or under specific reasonableness standards set by the U.S. and Ohio Supreme Court decisions concerning the use of deadly force. However, in this case, such deadly force was unnecessary as they had already cuffed the victim and had him pinned on the ground. So, despite this move being banned by their department, the officers would use it anyway, making them liable for committing a severe crime. Furthermore, now knowing that they were conducting an arrest through unlawful methods, the officers would be violating Mr. Tyson's fourth constitutional right.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Appreciate you guys.
I will look though. I got it.
Thank you, sir.
Found it? Yes. Good.
Yep. You hear my cruiser up? Because we're parked all the way down there.
Yeah.
You said this door's the closest out. Well, yeah, I'll get it. You guys want to bring your car up here? Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up.
Yeah. Go bring it up here. I'll sit with him.
It's important to note that this incident draws many parallels to George Floyd's death. On May 25, 2020, then MPD officer Derek Chauvin held his knees on Mr. Floyd's neck and back as he lay on the ground, handcuffed and unresisting. As soon as Mr. Floyd was on the ground, Officer Chauvin placed his knee on the back of Mr. Floyd's neck, while another officer, Alexander King, placed his knee on Mr. Floyd's lower body. Officer Chauvin would not remove his neck for the next 9 minutes, while Officer King would maintain his position for a similar amount of time. Throughout this period, Mr. Floyd pleaded with the officers 25 times to let him breathe. When firefighters and EMTs arrived on the scene shortly after, they unsuccessfully attempted to revive Mr. Floyd on the way to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The county medical examiner ruled Mr. Floyd's death as a homicide due to cardiopulmonary arrest, complicating law enforcement subdual, restraint, and neck compression. Unfortunately, as can be seen so far, this case might draw a similar conclusion, because only 6 minutes later would an officer check to see if the unresponsive victim was breathing.
Now I know that.
Can you calm down?
Yeah, he might be out.
Breathing?
Sadly, he was not.
37. You can cancel all correct. I have to have enough.
All right. Stand up.
Guard 25. So the complainant called back. You guys can 1019. He's going to go out of consciousness.
As if he hadn't caused enough problems already, the officer would continue to make matters worse for the survival of the victim. According to Skin Sight, one should not attempt to wake an unconscious person by slapping or shaking him or her, or by putting cold water on the person. However, this was something that the officer was repeatedly trying to do. The procedures one must actually follow in the event that someone falls unconscious are as follows. 1. Ask the victim if they are okay in a loud voice. If they don't respond, gently shake them. But if they might have a spinal cord injury, it is best not to move the person until emergency services arrive. 2. If a person still does not respond, follow these steps in this order. Check that their airway is open without signs of a blockage, such as labored or high-pitched breathing. Then look for signs that they are breathing. After that, one must check for a pulse or heartbeat. 3. Next, call or have someone else call emergency medical services if the person has no pulse or a weak one, does not seem to be breathing, does not respond or regain consciousness within 1 minute, or appears to be severely injured. Unfortunately, the officer would continue to try and slap the victim awake to no avail.
Come on, close this door.
Sit him up.
On the side or something. Come on, man.
You breathe it? Yeah, you can wear it. I have medics code.
Copy 2037.
Okay, we need the squad in response to black man.
83.
Roll him over on his back.
83.
Does he have a pulse?
I didn't feel one. Can you tell medics to step it up? It was not responsive. I don't know if I can feel a pulse. Come on.
You go ahead. I just transport the note first. He's looking out there as well. 10-4.
Huh? Alright, you want to step in? Just keep doing CPR on him.
Do we know who he is?
175. That's up there. You're on it.
Yeah, he has some female. I think that's possibly him.
We have words. You go? Okay. There's no way we need it.
Shut up. Block the shirt off.
70. Yep.
The officers would continue to take turns and make use of chest compressions until EMTs could arrive. Unfortunately, multiple minutes would pass with no signs of them showing up, putting the victim in more danger with every passing second.
83. Male's probably most likely going to be a Frank Eugene Tyson. 1218 of 70. 1218 of 70. Dude, where are these medics? We called them. They weren't here in like 6-7 minutes. Told them to step on it, and it's still not here. Right? Yep.
Give another dose. How many minutes already? That's 3 now. You won 3 days.
So now, we came in here, he saw us, he said, I'm not going with you. And he started fighting with us. We took him down, he was breathing. Come on, Frank. Stay with us.
It's important to note that these officers were performing CPR incorrectly. According to Cleveland Clinic, one must keep pushing on the person's chest 100 to 120 times per minute, pushing down 2 inches each time. One must also make sure to allow their chest to come all the way back up between compressions. However, as seen in the footage, the officers pressed Mr. Tyson's chest roughly 160 times per minute. This was not only ill-advised, but also perilous for the victim as it only further endangered their life.
Alright. Do they have AP or someone coming out for the hole?
They'll come out, but it's going to take them like 15-20 minutes. Right. Is this going to be counties? If it happened, if it east of Warner, it's all
he hit the pole when east of that 1732 and took off into here.
It's probably going to be county. I'll go down there.
In the meantime, the fire department's paramedics would arrive and get to work on resuscitating the victim.
Patient 2 to medic 66, patients in PEO. So you were fighting? Did you just drop? Did you hit him?
No,
nothing.
We tripped him on the ground. He was still yelling.
Swept his legs underneath. We picked him up, laid him on the ground, and then
face first or face down or face up?
Face down.
Yeah. He was sideways, then we got him on his stomach.
Do you have any idea on him? Age?
Yeah.
Do you have a driver's license?
I think this is going to be him.
Fortune.
Social. Birthday. Good. We'll give this to the medics, okay?
All right.
When we get here.
Copy.
But it is
secondary to an accident. Yeah, boy.
West of Warner. Then he hit another pole, or did it?
So he was heading east on Sherrick, just east of Warner, hit that pole over there, crashed, or car ended up 1732, and then he ran over here to the bar.
Okay. You guys need. We don't have any. What'd you call that ball? Capnography. Capnography.
Okay, 1712 is where he left the roadway. This guy saying he's in the county, but saying he's the city address correct.
That's the permit. 1712 is showing on it.
10-4, left the roadway on the property at 1712.
And pinned up against the counter because
Go ahead.
I'll talk to you all about
It's on the locker room at headquarters.
Unfortunately, Mr. Tyson was pronounced dead after 20 minutes. A police statement released a few days later mentioned that, shortly after securing him in handcuffs, officers recognized that Mr. Tyson had become unresponsive. CPR and several doses of Narcan were administered prior to the arrival of Canton Fire Department medics. However, the statement made no mention of the length of time between when Mr. Tyson was handcuffed and when police began resuscitation attempts. The case was then handed over to the Ohio Attorney General's Bureau of Criminal Investigation to conduct an independent investigation of the deadly encounter. Furthermore, 2 officers on the scene, Bo Shonedge and Camden Birch, were placed on administrative leave. Following the release of the police footage, the city's mayor, William V. Scherer II, released a statement stating, "Today, we have released the body cam footage of the arrest incident involving the death of Mr. Frank E. Tyson. I sat down with members of the Tyson family to not only allow them to see what is now being released to the public, but to give them my condolences in person. As we make it through this challenging time, my goal is to be as transparent with this community as possible. However, at the time of this recording, there have been no further updates made to this case. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter.